It's time for another army review from the Armies of the Lord of the Rings. Hello and welcome to yet another video here on the YouTube channel STF Wargaming Studio. My name is Andreas Norwegian Viking, and this from the Armies of the Lord of the Rings for the Middle-earth strategy battle game. It is my final review of this mighty tome. It is Sharkey's Rogues. So this army was previously part of the Isengard army list. Now for the experimental Throne of Skulls rules, these were made as a pure army, so you can field just a sea of ruffians and Sharkey and Worm. And it's basically no change here, because this army may include Sharkey, Worm and ruffians. Just ruffians. And before you say, oh, you can only field an army of roughly 100 points. Well, you can, because you can take more Sharkey's Rogues than you have heroes. So, impossible allies with every single army in the game. And that's because, of course, they don't ally with everyone. They are just the final part of this giant story in Middle-earth with the scouring of the Shire. And they don't really ally with anyone. And I think that is perfect. Just perfect. So they'll lose their army bonus, and your ally army will also lose its army bonus if you include a warband, because that's all you get if you include this in any other army. It might still be worth it, but I don't think it is viable in any way. But the army bonus is fantastic. You do what Sharkey says. Sharkey's Standfast affects the entire battlefield. Additionally, a force or allied contingent that contains models solely from the Sharkey's Rogues list may include warbands of 10 to 12 ruffians without the need for a hero to lead them. In these warbands, nominate a single warrior model within the warband as the captain for the purposes of deployment, etc. Well, this doesn't say a pure army though. Might be different. Alright. But that means that you can have 10 to 12 ruffians without a hero, which means you can field infinite warbands of ruffians, which are so cool models. I really, really love those 6 different models. Yeah, I think it is 6. Yeah, I believe it's 6 models you can take. Or are there more? No, it's 6. It's 2 or 3 with bow and 3 or 4 without bows. Alright, so you have the heroes of Sharkey's Rogues. Now, it's Sharkey and Worm as a single points drop. They're unchanged in points, and Wizard and Man are their things. So, of course, Sharkey is Wizard and Worm is a Man. Infantry and Hero of Legend. So that does mean that Sharkey can lead 18 troops. I do believe that Worm would take the first spot in that warband, making it 17 models. Sharkey's stat line has been unchanged. It's still move 6, fight 4, 4 plus shoot, strength 4, defense 4, 1 attack, 2 wounds, 4 courage, 1 might, 4 will and 1 fate. He carries a 2-handed staff and a dagger. He has access to heroic channeling, and he can do Immobilize with a range of 12, casting on 2+, and Terrifying Aura with casting of 2+. He has 2 new special rules. The Chief. Sharkey must always be the warband's leader. Worm will be the first follower in Sharkey's warband. So yeah, 17 models. And lastly, he has the Whoever strikes me shall be accursed. After a model resolve strikes against Sharkey, it must take a courage test. If the test is failed, that model takes 1 strength for it. Pretty cool. It's a nice thematic rule. Worm, on the other hand, unchanged in stat line, or is he? So he's move 6, fight 2, 4 plus shoot, strength 3, defense 3, 1 attack, 1 wound, 2 courage, 0 might, 0 will, 0 fate. So yeah, unchanged. Or is it? So its dagger is Wargear is a dagger, and it has the broken loyalty special rule, so the same one it always had, well, he always had. If Sharkey is reduced to 1 wound and has no fate remaining, Worm becomes an enemy model and must move towards and attack Sharkey if possible. If Sharkey is slain, Worm reverts to being a friendly model. But he has one of the coolest special rules in the entire game, in this entire tome. Worm has one of the coolest special rules available, and that is when he sneaks. When making a duel roll for a fight where Worm is engaged, check to see if any enemy models except for those he is fighting can see him. If only the model or models Worm is fighting can see him, immediately increases fight value to 4 and his attacks to 3 for the duel roll and the strikes that may follow. He turns into this assassin if nobody else can see him, and I think that is absolutely amazing. It might not come up often in games, but when it does, it is fantastic. It's super cool. So lastly, and the final profile in this mighty tome, I can't believe it's over, it is the Warriors of Sharkey's Rogues. And it's only one option, and it's the Ruffians. And they're gone up by a point. They are man, ruffians, infantry, and warrior. Move 6, fight 2, so they've gone down a point, 5 plus shoot. So they've gone down a shoot as well. Strength 3, defense 3, 1 attack, 1 wound, 2 courage. They carry knife or club, has options for a bow or a whip, but they have a new special rule. Atom Lads, it's an active ability. A ruffian that is engaged in a fight that involves 1 or more Hobbit models gain a bonus of +1 to its fight value, so reverting back to its normal fight value. Additionally, instead of making strikes, when a ruffian wins a fight against a Hobbit model, they may attempt to bind it in chains. Nominate 1 Hobbit model from the fight and roll a d6. If the score is higher than the target's strength, normally 2, the model is bound, treated as though it has been affected by the paralyzed magical power. So, against most of the Hobbit heroes, it should be like a 3 or 4 plus. And that's a fantastic ability. More often than not, it will not come up in points match games or match play. But in scenario play, this is a fantastic cool rule. And you can, of course, spam a lot of ruffians in an army. I think in a, if we go by article size, no, let's do it by 1,000 points. So let's do 1,000 points of Sharkey's Rogues. You can have a 184 ruffians plus Sharkey and Worm. That is amazing. 146 models in a 1,000-point army. That just blows my mind. Well, a bit less if you take bows, and you would take bows. But let's say like 160 or something like that. It's amazing. I don't have that many. I think I've 36 of them. I believe I have 36 of them. Yeah. So I can't field an army of that size, but imagine that sight. That would be absolutely amazing. So not the most competitive army, but indeed if you are absolutely mad and bonkers and get loads of these models and paint them all, most crucially, you can field a huge army, which I want to see somebody do at Throne of Skulls coming up in December in Nottingham. So that is the entire book done. Spent the last 3 weeks roughly on this, and I must say it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you guys and giving you the cool changes to the rules. Obviously, it can be hard to see all the changes yourself when reading through the rules. I've tried as diligently as I could to take out all the bits that have changed and apply it to these videos. Obviously, I've missed a couple. I've amended a couple of my what I've said wrong in some of the videos where I could. But obviously, most of these videos have been filmed in huge chunks, like me sitting in front of the camera for a few hours at a time. So I've been thinking about what thing to do next, because we are currently on a Sunday and I don't have much more content to do. But I've been fishing for some answers from the community, and people want me to do a review of the Battle Company scenarios, which I haven't done before. So I'll probably do those. There will also be some army reviews coming. I have to figure out which armies I've completely done. So far it's, at the top of my head, it's my Dunlendings and Smaug. But yeah, and the Shire list. Yeah, I've painted everything for the Shire. The old Shire, that is. But I've painted them Dúnedain, I've painted Aragorn, and I've painted Gandalf as well. So I could probably do that. And there are, in the back of this book, there are 11 scenarios, and we will play some of them during our grand campaign. That is quite far away. I do believe that Amon Hen is one of the last scenarios we'll do for the Fellowship, and that'll not arrive until early 2020. So I'll might be doing some reviews of the narrative scenarios in this book, and compare it to the last version of these scenarios in the last time these scenarios was written down. So for instance, for Last Lines, I would look to the Hobbit rulebook. For the Fall of Khazad-dûm, that's probably in the Hobbit book as well, I think. Fall of Arnor, of course, in the Rune of Arnor book, and so forth. But yeah, I'll see what I will do. I'll endeavour to give you more Middle-earth content going forwards, as well as other content available on the channel. So thank you so much for watching this series. It's been a great pleasure talking to all of you guys and receiving feedback from you guys as well. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again in another series on the channel. And when the Hobbit book comes out, of course I will do a similar series on that. So please look forward to that. Until then, I have been Andreas Norwegian Viking, and this has been my series of reviews from the Armies of the Lord of the Rings for the Middle-earth Strata Battle game. Please comment, like, share and subscribe, and do consider supporting STF on Patreon using the link in the description below, as it is a fantastic way for you to support our efforts here at the studio. It gives us a monetary means to expand, improve and give you more cool videos each and every day of the week. And if that is at all interesting for you, click the link in the description below and we will take you to our Patreon page. But more importantly, support your hobby.